All right, guys. Hopefully everyone's doing okay and everyone could hear me. Should have everything ready to go. Got a bunch of videos lined up. As the title suggests, what is the future of the Bigfoot community? The good, the bad, and the ugly. As this last week, I watched a number of different podcasts, different shows, different segments, shorts, people showing off evidence and stuff. And there's a variety of different pathways, I think, that the community could steer itself into. And it depends really on us. And it's us as the people who are actually in the community, actually building the community, those who are watchers and stuff, or partakers, people who are actually active in the community, and not just people who are on the outside looking in, or as we get into a different mass populations who are migrating towards our communities from different far off lands as they. I'm sorry, I'm downloading the last little video that I needed, and it slipped my mind until pretty much just right before I started. So there's a lot of different segments in the community. I think for the most part, a lot of us are in search of the truth and are honestly trying to get evidence and have integrity when presenting the evidence and going about the research, the subject, and when we're out there, most importantly, is how we're conducting ourselves out there. And this, I feel, is the minority. I don't feel, I honestly know, I know that we are the minority in things. And as I'm going to take a look and point out and talk about as the minority who are after the truth and have integrity and trying our best to go out there and not honestly fool ourselves, fool other people, trick other people, hoax other people on purpose. We're not out there for entertainment purposes only. We're not out there for content creation, where the narrative and that narrative drives the storyline and drives whatever you're out there doing, and not actually going out there and trying to find the truth and nothing but the truth. And that's where the community is going to lead. Is, are we going to go down the side of the truth and integrity, or are we going to go down where it's more content creation, entertainment value, stories? Or are we going to go down even further, which is the ugly, which is this cult mentality of following the person, the narrative and the narrator, and telling their fantastical tales about whatever Bigfoot's shifting through portals and can heal you. And if you listen to me, the cult of personality will influence you in such a way that you will start believing every single thing that the cult leader tells you, like, oh, Bigfoot is behind the tree, and all of a sudden you start feeling warm, fuzzy sensations. So the good, the bad, and the ugly is, if we can steer clear towards having integrity, going about it truthfully, scientifically, and we don't have to be professionals at it, but we certainly need to have some standards of integrity and honesty when we're going about presenting things, going about the research, going about expeditions, going about networking with others, and working around the friendship barrier and gatekeeping, which is, well, my best friend is really nice to me, but he has very sensationalized stories and evidence and claims that are just so far out there on the other side of the spectrum that most people would probably find a hard time, having that friendship not interfere with their own research integrity and honesty when they're presenting their own research. Because if you have a guy who's claiming he's being raped by Bigfoot, and then you're trying to present your evidence, and you're his friend, and it's like, at some point reality has to come into head. And especially when we're dealing with the cult leaders, this way, way ugly side of the fantasy side. When we're dealing with content creation and entertainment value, and people who just want to do it for that side, for just content creation, they're not really necessarily hoaxing on purpose. They're not trying to falsify stuff, but they're trying to sensationalize whatever's going on because they're trying to drive the content, the subs. And so that is an issue, but I feel like those people, the people who are geared towards content creation and who do the jump scares and there's something behind the bush, and then there's a big build up to the climax of them looking behind the bush and it's a squirrel, and then and the whole video has the thumbnails of, I don't know, was there a Sasquatch behind the bush, and a big build up to nothingness, and then an ending, and it's it's fun, it's entertainment, it's cool. But there's nothing truthful. There's nothing about it. There's no substance to it. There's really no evidence. There's really nothing to gain from it. It's only for entertainment purposes only. But the good thing about those people, for the most part, what I think from what I see is, if we could steer those people to have a little bit more integrity and a little bit more honesty about going about it and trying to go do more research than content creation, I see a lot of those people who would be very good people to have in the community and good assets to have as researchers, and especially these people who have almost 1 million subscribers who are out there doing jump scares, and like I said, it's just for entertainment. If we could really get them to just actually research and actually have all that personality when it comes to honest research and honest stuff that happens out there, because when it really happens, you don't need to sensationalize everything. And those people, for the most part, the content creators, people who are, as I'm going to show you, actually young people is what I'm talking about, the future. These young people, 20-year-olds, 18-year-olds, even to my age, 30-year-olds and mid 30-year-olds. You see these really enthusiastic, happy, inspired kids and people and young men and men who want to go out there and find the truth. But the way they're going about it is the standard YouTube content creation, revenue generating platform of, we have to make shorts a certain way. We have to do the jump scare. You have to have the special thumbnail where it looks like you're running from your life for your life on in the middle of the woods because Sasquatch is yelling at you. And the whole thing is especially with these young kids, is they're doing all that because that's the formula for growth and stimulating your channel on YouTube. Is you do the shorts this way, you act a certain way, you do the storyboard a certain way. First you have your intro, explain, quick thing, then you jump over here to the action, then you build up to the climax and the super scary thing, even though it's a nothing burger. I mean, it's a plain ass nothing. There's nothing. Really, it's just entertainment. You build it all up to something, even though it's nothing, and then you go over and justify it, and these are the stories and the evidence. There's a lot of energy, good energy, that's being wasted on this entertainment purposes only, instead of, if we could get all the energy and enthusiasm stuff to actually just research, and when they finally get stuff, that's going to be sensational stuff, and that's when it's going to be more believable. And plus all these people who have subscribers and influencing stuff, it would look and be a lot better because it would influence people the right way instead of entertainment, shock value. Basically, it's production. It's not real in any sort of way other than they're going out there and something might happen. That's the only thing that is the thing. And if we can get them, especially these young kids, these younger 20-year-olds and 19-year-olds and 30-year-olds and stuff, get them out of content creation, jump scares, and bull crap. Get them to real research, real discussions with real researchers, and, you know, have a big influence on the next generation coming into things instead of to influence them the right way, instead of them. We're going to have a flood of content creators and entertainment people who are just going to bang, 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 bang. And we already see that. And we see that with different people who are make documentaries and make really good documentaries. But at the same time, you know, the titles of the documentaries, you know, don't match up with what's actually happening inside the documentaries. And pretty much they're nothing burgers. There are some little bits of interesting stuff that happens and every once in a while, but when you have a business plan and you're running a business to make money off the documentaries, it's not about research. It's about making a good documentary that will sell to propel you to do more projects and influence and do a lot of crazy good things. Does a good benefit to the community. But when you're just for entertainment purposes only, then that's what you're going to fall into. And that's not a necessarily bad category. I think that we can influence these content creators and younger people who are, you know, dipping their toes into like, oh, you know, going to look out for Bigfoot and looking for cryptids and doing this and doing that. And they're not really researchers, but they have really good following, really good social media. If they're going to join the community, we should definitely have them join the right way and steer them to the future we want to see instead of entertainment. And that's not the ugly. That's the bad. You know, that they're just coming in to make movies, coming in to make shock value entertainment shorts and YouTube videos and podcasts. And then just jumping in and just sitting and talking and never going in the woods and doing anything, but they're just, you know, talking like they're experts, or, you know, like you see some of these people, Billy badasses. The ugly is the cult mentality, the Matthew Johnson's, you know, Camp Zanu and Zanu healings, and some of the videos and red circles that we see of bushes. I gotta do one last thing before I start showing some videos. Say hi to everyone in chat. How's everyone doing? How's it going, Emily? Check out What the Frick Live on Facebook, Rumble, YouTube, all the social medias. Emily does a great show on there. Also, me and Emily and Melissa do on Thursdays. We do a show called The Beast System on Rumble, and where we get into more conspiracy-oriented, spiritual warfare type of side of craziness and stuff. And it's a really good platform, good show over there. Emily is a great host, and I'm glad to be a part of that show. So check that out if you guys can. Check it out on Rumble and X. Rapid Crazy has the question, as I'm trying to multitask and do a bunch of things. Question: what is your thoughts about all these people from the 70s up until now? Winter sightings, are they being credible or not with the proof? All these people from the 70s up until now with winter sightings. I really haven't heard too many winter sightings besides people who claim to find tracks and post pictures on Facebook and their bunnies and their deer. They're every single animal that is hopping through the snow, because it's hard to walk through the snow. And they typically just post random pictures of footprints instead of one single footprint, instead of taking a trackway photo and dozens of photographs of individual footprints of the trackway. Anytime, Emily. It's awesome. We always do it on your show and stuff. So, right. Let that one load up, and we're gonna show a little bit of the culty side. I really can't recall right now too many winter sightings, especially from like the 70s. Older ones. I'm not. The only one I'm recalling right now is some Yeti expeditions. One of the first, I think, persons to explore the Himalayas, or was it Everest or something, who came across the Yeti tracks and stuff. There are some old stories back in those kind of expedition eras where they found Yeti tracks and I think sightings during this when it was obviously snowfall on the mountain. But if you could remind me, give you a comment or something of what you're actually thinking about and stuff. But winter sightings, in and of itself, is another good, interesting thing, because when winter happens and there's actual snow, you will notice that a lot of researchers tend to take a little bit of a break and don't seem to actually go out in winter, and don't actually go out when it's actually snowing out, or when it's actually have snowfall, to find tracks or to actually show evidence of what they're actually encountering. Because if you actually are encountering a real animal that's out there with snow, you should go over there and walk to find the prints, right? Unless it's disappearing into a UFO or a tree or another dimension. I personally have encountered some stuff. I actually have a video that I've played before of some tree knocks that were happening in winter, and they were across a flooded creek system over on an island. And I was, I think I was did a little whoop, and I was like making some popping noises with my mouth, and I got some responses, but I couldn't go over there because of the flooded creek system. But in winter and stuff, it seems to definitely die down. The one time in January 2 years ago, we actually recorded a couple wood knocks at nighttime that we didn't hear. And we didn't know to go over there to go check until we went back days later and looked at the audio and realized, oh my gosh, there was wood knocks overnight over in this section. If we would have walked over there, we possibly could have seen tracks if there were actually, Sasquatch doing that. So winter is actually one of the best times to actually conduct field research, is because if you're actually hearing wood knocks, especially in the daytime or nighttime, go walk over there and you should be able to find the tracks of the animal that made the wood knocks, right? Another thing, of course, is they say trees make more popping noises and they break and stuff. I got to answer this text message. And I've heard trees popping and cracking and stuff in the wind, and I've also heard tree knocks that sound like something took a baseball bat and smacked a freaking tree as hard as it could, and it sounds definitely different. All right, I think I have everything ready to go. Could have shown some other videos, but I wanted to show awesome. Got some things lined up and stuff. Of course, about to drop and get the conference venue rented out, so we're gonna have that going, and we'll be dropping the ticket links to get the tickets to the Michigan Bigfoot and Dogman Conference because I have seen a wolf cross the road. He went into the field and it stood up on its hind legs and started running like this, running with its arms, running like a person as we drove by with my family in the car. And we're going, So, seeing is believing when you're actually observed things clearly and you know what reality is, and you've seen a lot of things in life that that's not normal. Don't know what it is, have no idea, but I will say that I've seen a wolf cross the road and stand up like it's a dog man and start running in the field as fast as it was on all fours. All right. So let's take a look at some videos and stuff and work our way around and stuff. We got a variety of videos. I believe they're all loaded up. They loaded up off my phone. Let's see if they showed up here. But winter is the best time. Let me finish this little segment. Random segment, of course. That is awesome during live. In winter, you can actually, if you hear stuff, you experience stuff, you have whatever happens, wood knocks, vocalization, something's thrown at you, you hear something move away from you, you should be able to go look for tracks. And if some real people who have real integrity and stuff, who we all feel have honest and no reason to lie, who would ever lie about this, say, I experienced something, a rock being whizzing by my head in a tree knock, and I walked around this whole area in circles for 5 hours. I found no tracks. I think then we need to open our eyes and open our brains a little bit and say, there must be something else going on, because why wouldn't that individual find tracks? Like say Brent and stuff, they found experienced stuff and couldn't find the tracks, but yet they were happening like 100 yards away from him. Or Thomas Steenberg, or someone with, other people and people in the community feel like wouldn't lie about such things, It'd be a good way for people to test and find things. And it'd be interesting for real researchers, not the content creation people or the occult members who they'll find Bigfoot every single weekend they go out, as we're about to take a look. And so here's a supposed picture from Australia of a Australian yowie. Of course, there wasn't much info on the background of a story other than I think it was it was definitely from Australia. I just don't remember the specific city and stuff, and I didn't care to show who posted the video, or it's not a video, the picture, because I don't think it was their original one. It didn't seem like they're knowingly trying to hoax and all that. But so, what is it? Is it a tree stump? Is it a person on top of the stump? Is it a person in a gorilla suit? It's whatever it is. As we take a look at it, are those pants and stuff? No matter what, it's not good enough to prove anything. And certainly with no background story, and it's not going viral, and it's not hitting the news, and there's no one reputable behind it. It's just more of the same, which is basic junk. I mean, if it was from someone who was reputable and doing real research in there, maybe we could consider it something, but it is not actual proof of anything. But if that guy continued to get different shots of that same silhouette in different backgrounds, and again, coming from someone who seems to be a man of integrity or a woman of integrity, it's something we need to consider, because at some point we need to start adding up what we have, because our little crumbs that we have are not proof and stuff, but coming from honest researchers and stuff that we need to test and standardize, as like on the last show of Untold Radio with Doug Hychek, and they had David Ellis on, and they were talking about Tristan's audio of the hummingbird sounding frequency audio of maybe a possible Bigfoot that is making a similar low frequency sound that kind of sounds like a hum or a humming and stuff. And so there's other breadcrumbs that match this and adult stories that somewhat seem to might suggest that there's this possible connection and stuff. So if that is standardized as, okay, well, these are possible sounds, and if other people bring these possible hum sounds, and well, then we have start having, oh, well, this is evidence of possibly Bigfoot because, you know, we're standardizing, it's becoming standard to recognize that this humming sound could potentially be Bigfoot. And if there's other reputable researchers getting the same thing, especially if they're saying, well, I just had this happen, or a tree knock, and then I just got this hum, it's good. That is going to build up into something. That's what we need. We need to start connecting these puzzle pieces, these breadcrumbs together around the community with people who have integrity, so we can start moving the ball down the field and start recognizing, okay, this is a potential piece of evidence, instead of basically no matter what you get, unless it is like grade A Patterson film level footage, everyone's going to scoff at it and basically not take it seriously, even though it is, could be and is potential great evidence. It just isn't the, you know, holy grail and stuff. And I think there's a lot of breadcrumbs and little puzzle pieces that are getting shoved underneath the rug because it's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. And everyone's laughing at it. Well, you know, just because it's not good enough doesn't mean it's nothing. It's something. Definitely something. All right, so let's take a look at this second little clip of whatever you guys think. I don't know, let's just take a look. What do you guys see here? Obviously, it's clearly in the middle of the screen. It's huge. It's massive. It has arms sticking out, and it's in motion, and the guy is snapping pictures of it because a video camera that could take 60 photographs a second that's just, you know, that's too hard to do. But, you know, taking 2 singular photographs is much easier. Obviously, clearly, that's a Bigfoot. Anyone who disagrees is just an idiot who doesn't know what they're looking at. But seriously, this is what we get, right? So we take a look. What? Okay, so he takes a picture of a photograph of a Bigfoot, and then he steps 10 feet this way, 15 feet this way, takes another photograph, and the Bigfoot hasn't moved. Or, well, he did he's swinging the arm again. You know, the tree stump is what I'm guessing that is, doesn't move. The tree stump or the tree itself just doesn't move. And what does he do? He moves. He moves 10 feet over. He takes another photograph, and voila, it magically looks like it moved. And the guy, I don't think I had the caption, but it's presented as a Sasquatch. I'm gonna play that again for you guys. And again, so he takes a photograph in one position, and then he moves 15 feet one way, and then takes another photograph, and nothing moves. The arm is still out, right? Supposedly the arm's still out. Everything is facing the same direction. It hasn't actually moved anywhere. And so this is another illusion that a lot of the cult members, or the ugly side of things, I would say, they do. And they take these, and I'm guessing the person knows what it is and decided to take another picture and post it as a Bigfoot. And it's this illusion or this delusion, fantasy thinking that, oh, well, if I just tell the lie enough times, that the cult members will just drink the Kool-Aid and go along with it. And that is the ugly side. That is the future we do not want, where everyone posts pictures of this. Then you have 30, 100 people saying, "Oh my God, I see the Bigfoot. It's amazing," and the views on the channel are exponentially higher than real researchers conducting real research. That is the ugly side. That is what the gloomy future of the community would be, because we would be just flooded and saturated with so much junk, which we are. We're seeing it. We're seeing it. We would see their own groups and their own conferences, their own stuff pop up and stuff that is away from us, and it would be more fantasy side. And why would it be more leaning towards why do the cult members always lean towards the woo side? Because it's more fantasy side. It's more easy to have an adventurous story that is believable than doing it's hard work, having integrity, and say, oh shit, nothing fucking happened this weekend. Instead of, we heard the frogman and the Basquatch swooped in, and then a vampire came out of the shadows, followed by the dogman on the leash, followed by the people dancing and doing voodoo. Because you have some people telling stories as if that's real, because some person told them so. And then you have 30-something thousand people groveling at, oh my gosh, that vampire story is amazing. Oh my gosh, that's this dog man who ate the little boy and then was shot by the military using caliber weapons that don't exist, because they're written by a person who doesn't understand what real weapons are, or real calibers, or grain sizes, or the names of rifles and weapons that they're trying to use and describe, or they're using different ammo types for the different weaponry that they don't match together. The fantasy side, where anything goes, everything's okay. It's okay because it's tolerant, it's nice, you're my best friend, we're having a good time, we can sit at the campfire and tell stories about aliens and Bigfoot. And then when we hear coyotes go off, well, in the middle of the coyotes going off, there's a particular sound, and it sounds squatchy, it's a dog man. And they drink the Kool-Aid, and they continue on like nothing happens. That is what we don't want. So we have thousands and thousands of people doing that. And basically, we get drowned out. Nah, Brent. It was a raccoon picking up a stick, smacking it against a rock. Clear, obvious, normal animal. It's normal animal behavior. You hear a clear wood knock. Clearly, a deer was smacking its antlers to break them off, or whatever these just lame ass excuses that people give. Plainly, I'm at that point. I got a little kickback of I put the video out of getting 37 knocks. Well, if you put a recorder out and you count how many knocks it gets, and it counts 37, what else do you call it besides you captured 37 knocks? They're not gunshots, and trees sound differently, different tones and thuds and sounds and hardness and different distances, and it's moving. I mean, it's a squirrel. Duh. It's a flying spaghetti monster. I'm to the point to where, I'm laughing in the face of people who just give dumbass answers to the shit that just is really, you can't explain, It's not a grizzly bear or a black bear. It's not a wolf smacking the tree with a stick in its mouth, It's to the point to where, what is my thing doing? It's just dumb. It's just dumb. We've been stagnant for too long. We need to get out of our box. We need to level up. We need to get out of this plateau. There's something that needs to happen. And whatever we've been doing the last 50 years isn't fucking working. It's obviously clear. And so I do things my own way. I think a lot of people, and I'm intrigued by a lot of people doing things their other way, and they might be completely culty side, but you know what? They might try to be speaking with Bigfoot and stuff, and they might claim stuff that happens, but I might think it's bullshit until something pops up that I find interesting. Like, okay, well, what is this? And what did you guys do? And why did this happen? I don't think, just because people are crazy and on the woo side that nothing can't happen. But, I'm just interested in the evidence and what causes this evidence and what causes, interaction, what can cause this jump and level up instead of being stagnant for another almost 60 years. Rapid Crazy has another good comment, I think. And he says, read the books from John Green. John and others, they always talk about the rock clacking and not tree knocks. Try that in the woods. And we do actually do that. James actually loves doing rock clacks, and he'll find rocks in an area and do clacks, instead of, and we've got some interesting results, but we've had what we were successful with tree knocks too. Successful with in different areas. We're successful with vocalization, different vocalizations, not just call blasting your lungs out until you die, but actually very low whoops, the opposite of a call blast. People don't understand this, but when you're call blasting when you're using a game caller with animal calls, you don't need to be loud. When it sounds so obviously loud, it's actually unnatural stuff. So the opposite of call blasting is when you shoot out a little call and you have 100-yard radius around you, and that sound's not going to travel farther than that. That is something that has been very successful for us, of shooting something out that 200-yard range or more, but not call blasting the entire ecosystem. Something like that, more subtle approach has been more in all the approaches. The most subtle approach, calm, cool, collective, let them do things, seems to be easier than going after them or forcing a situation, especially if these things are intelligent. So let's look onto another video, because I do have a big ass work project tomorrow that I gotta get up and do. So I can't stay and do a 4-hour long podcast like I have been known to do, but we definitely can look at some cool and interesting things like this particular. I thought that would look better. Anyone else ever see something like this? I seriously doubt it fell off that cliff. And there's a deer in the middle of the picture, for those who might not have spotted, that is got stuck in the middle of a tree crotch. And that's what they're called, the crotch of a tree, which is basically the prongs. And it's obviously dead. And the caption in this Bigfoot community post is, I seriously doubt it fell off that cliff. So, it's implied that this was thrown off. For what? A Bigfoot's just going to throw the deer off and, hole in one, land it in the tree, and then what? Leave it there? Just waste the deer? It's just fun. Or did it just naturally get chased off by a predator, and it just jumped off like deer do? Because I've drove my car across the bridge and a deer on the road didn't know how to react. It decided to just jump off the bridge, landing in some water and stuff. So like they will jump off cliffs and stuff. They're not smart animals. Herd mentality and animals that are being chased can and will jump off cliffs. The simplest, most natural answer is the answer that, you should probably go with. Not just jump to the Bigfoot. I mean, aliens could have done that. Why not say an alien, you know, abducted the deer and then, probed the deer and then they, shot the deer out of the UFO and landed right there. Like that is just that is as good as a possibility as a Bigfoot throwing it right there. I mean, this is, this is the bad and this is the ugly. Like there's just no critical thinking. Just, it was a Bigfoot. It's implied. It's not as bad as what we're about to see and stuff and get into. No. But this is just crap, Now, if this deer was on a flat piece of ground and it was up in the middle of a tree like that and there was no cliff and there was no reasonable common sense articulable reason that you could come up with of how it naturally got up there, minus or a tornado just sucked it up and flew it up there, then you might have something instead of that. Well, aliens, that's what they do. They have to probe cows hundreds of thousands of times because they haven't done it good enough since the 90s, right? Aliens are so stupid they just have to keep doing that to cows because they're too stupid to understand cows and cow anatomy for what, decades now. All right. Yeah, so if you have a video of a Bigfoot killing a deer, eating it and hunting and doing that, that is going to be better evidence than the Patterson film. And that's what we need too, is something amazing, something with biomechanics and locomotion, something that shows it's the spider crawling, something showing that's power ripping the actual tree over, or something a little bit more than what we have of the tree shaking videos of supposed Bigfoots grabbing the tree and shaking the damn tree and it's flopping. Like, I know I can't do that to half the size of those trees. So there are some, but we need something that's like ripping it, yanking it out of the ground where you can physically tell like there is no way that is ever happening with a person in a suit. Instead of, if that tree was dead and this type of species of tree, you could shake it and the arguments would cease to exist if we have extraordinary evidence that is you can't argue against it because it is such in your face proof positive of shock value. All right, let's get on to this next clip. The next clip. And I wanted to do more work on this, Brent, because this is from the camera crew guys. I seen this post, and the post is basically that the shadow that you see in the window, on the left-hand side of the window frame, the windowsill right there, supposedly that is a Bigfoot that was in the live show. The entire time it was in there, during the live shows, it was there and it was watching him, of course. And, as soon as you zoom in, you start getting the facial details and there's a hand right there. And no, it's not a stick. Obviously, it's not a stick. There's dozens of sticks in front of it because of trees, but no, that's not a stick. And, and it's creepy. I really needed to and wanted to watch the entire live stream, not really watch it, but just all you have to do is go to the live stream, you look at that shadow, and you can scroll the entire back and forth of the video. Just keep going back and forth, and to see if the damn thing moves or leaves, or if it actually comes into frame, or if it's simply there the entire time the video starts and to finish. Like it never moves, like it's a statue, or it's just a tree, or it's just a shadow, or it's nothing there. That's the only thing I wasn't able to do today is video recording, go over that and show that. But I do know from the comments that I read that people were saying that it was there the entire time But that didn't take away from the fact that they thought it was a real Bigfoot. They just thought, they said it was there the entire time. And, so this is what we have, the cult of personality, hey, there's Bigfoot everywhere. And if the camera's on there, you should see movement, especially if you do an hour or 2 hour long podcast, you'll see some movement. And I do think Bigfoots are extremely patient and can be as still as a statue for a very long time. But at the same time, in different situations and stuff, they're going to have a tell. They're going to move. They're going to get out. They're going to get bored. They're going to want to get to a different position. The next time you see this on a live show and someone points it out, go walk outside. Go walk over there. I think they discovered this after the fact, of course. And coming from the camera crew, they're running with it. Of course it's a Bigfoot. Why not? It's almost as good as getting rocks thrown at you by your buddy. And that's the junk, anything's a Bigfoot. Did you know there's Bigfoot right here? There's a Bigfoot right here. And there's some Bigfoots behind me, but you can't see them because they're hiding behind my chair. But there's definitely a Bigfoot right here. That is a Bigfoot for sure. Right? Yeah. It's just too easy. And I've also meaning to just take random pictures of trees and bushes and then find Bigfoots for you guys to see. But when I'm actually in the woods, I'm actually trying to do real stuff and not, I forget about trying to do some stupid thing, like take pictures of the bush. But I do have some pictures of, not ready to show here, but I'm going to post some pictures of some big old bumblebee hives that are last year. But this one is just bigger than a basketball. It is massive, and it's not that far off the ground. That I'm glad I didn't discover it when it was in operation, because that is way too be close. I mean, it's like 15 feet above the ground, so it's not that high. Not that high at all. All right, so now we got some good stuff from the Squatch Watchers. We'll take a look at the Squatch Archers in a minute. Raptor Crazy says, that's my point. All these channels are out there doing this, making money. I needed new equipment. Give me money. That is right. Barry Browning, good guy, says, the only thing with people or Bigfoot making tree structures, I've never seen either making them. Typically, man-made survival structures have a common pattern and goal. The goal of a survival shelter is to get you out of the elements. So this random, minimal teepee shelters that are associated with Bigfoot, I don't think they're man-made unless they're hoaxed and stuff. But also the some of these that you see from researchers that they're clearly a survival shelter, or a very elaborate, and some of them even have twine and ropes that are tied, are claiming, and these are in a park, a metro park, they're claiming Bigfoot. It's just wacky doodle and stuff. It's just wacky doodle. It's just dumb, If you see something that has ropes, the survival shelter with rope tied, you can't, I mean, come on, man. Even if you were in the remote parts of the Pacific Northwest, you can't even say that's Bigfoot. All right, the Squatch Watchers, one of my favorite groups of lollygaggers who are always experiencing some kind of Bigfoot shenanigan or getting some good evidence brought to them, and are always 100% about the integrity, about presenting only the best stuff to their audience and to the community, because they want to be taken seriously as, presented by Kark's news segment on them and being on the Untold Radio. I mean, obviously, if Doug Hytrax has you on his channel, it's only because you have the highest integrity in terms of research and evidence, and not because of your subscriber count and following and stuff. But I mean, that's what I assume. That's what I would hope with real research, with integrity. But I don't know about the Squatch watchers. It's pretty obvious. Anyone who actually watches their content, it's real obvious.
This may not be an airplane.
Dad,
everyone.
what the hell is that?
Everyone, we might have a UFO sighting.
I'm on the van.
This may not be an airplane.
Dad,
everyone.
what the hell is that?
Everyone, we might have a UFO sighting. David.
What the hell is that?
It's in a triangle shape.
What the hell is that?
We might just have our first UFO sighting.
What the hell is that? The wings are at the back.
Yeah, like a freaking spaceship.
Where the heck did it go? There it is.
What the heck is that?
Maybe if he said it again, they'd figure it out. Looked like a plane. Plane with 3 different lights on it. So, hey, that's them experiencing a UFO. And let's play it again because the sound quality, the sound effects itself is worth another look. So let's just really try to figure it out. Planes, lights, they blink. They have multi-lights sometimes. I don't know what the airplane laws are in South Carolina. I think they are. Right? I assume they're all federal airline laws, and airplane laws are universally the same. So you have to have blinking lights. And here in Michigan, we have different color lights, usually red or blue lights that strobe.
This may not be an airplane.
Dad,
everyone.
what the hell is that?
Everyone, we might have a UFO sighting.
I'm on the van.
This may not be an airplane.
Dad,
everyone.
what the hell is that?
Everyone, we might have a UFO sighting. David.
What the hell is that?
It's in a triangle shape.
What the hell is that?
We might just have our first UFO sighting.
What the hell is that? The wings are at the back.
Yeah, like a freaking spaceship.
Where the heck did it go? There it is.
I really thought it was my favorite boy who was saying, "What the hell is that?" But I'm not sure who's saying that. I know it's not the 2 young guns, my 2 boys that I enjoy because they're the most animated ones. But I think that was the I don't know their names. I consider him the main guy, the main honcho guy. He's one of the older dudes that has the goatee and stuff. I don't know, but that's just hilarious to me, Maybe they really thought that was an honest God real UFO, and that's just how they acted. And let's take another look at some other stuff from them that got presented to them. Well, let's take a look what kind of quality evidence that we see. It even sounds like a plane. Well, you're questioning the integrity of the Squatch watchers. You're telling me that they couldn't tell if it was a sound of a plane or if a sound of a UFO. Clearly, it's hard to tell, man. But when you're for entertainment, and this is the thing, that when you're for content creation and entertainment purposes only, the scare factor, jump scares, everything has to be over the top. Everything has to be dramatic. The thumbnails, the capture, the UFO almost probes us on our way through the woods looking for Bigfoot, or abducts us, or we've seen a UFO fly by as it startle us and almost took our heads off. You know, it has to be just over the top exaggeration because that's what gets the clicks. That's what gets the algorithm going. That's what makes the algorithm put views and people towards your video. That's what makes that money. It's the formula. There's a formula. You can go ahead and say what, you know, formula for making money with shorts, formula for making money on YouTube. And most often than not, it's catering towards this lower IQ or kids demographic of jump scares, flashy titles, flashy thumbnails, a big nothing burger of big a suspense of, I've seen this one. I can't remember the name of the channel. I think it's, anyways, they were on a Bigfoot Odyssey and they were just going to look for abandoned places. And there's this one where everything about it was this big buildup to, you know, something that jumps out of the cabinet. And it was a fucking bird. You know, this big buildup and suspense and mystery and the danger. And it's a fucking bird. That formula is geared towards 5-year-olds to 12-year-olds. That's what the formula for making money on YouTube is geared towards. So that's when you see it, it sounds obnoxious. It sounds dramatic. It sounds over the top. It sounds just dumb because that is literally the formula and it works. It grows because that's what YouTube pushes. So that's when you see it, you recognize it, and it's like, this just is dumb. This is just fake nothingness. It's an act. And we see a lot of content creation. I'm actually going to show a different video. And then, you know, then they, you know, you get subscribed, then the donations and stuff. And I'm not against channels who have the memberships and stuff. I mean, to be honest, you know, if I could do memberships right now, actually, I'm already approved to do it. I've been monetized for a while now, and I am able to do all that. I don't do it because, you know, what you get some stickers, you know, you get some stars by your name. I could do an exclusive show that only the people who pay as members could watch it, right? I mean, I could do exclusive live stuff, right? Or you could get some cool merchandise and stuff. But to be honest, you know, as me personally, I don't really see anything that I could really give members only that I wouldn't want to share to everyone, you know. And there's nothing really that an extra $5 that you're going to pay monthly to my channel is you're going to have access to. Like, you're not going to it's not going to grant you access to the vault of my secrets because you pay $5 a month to the channel stuff, you know. For the most part, all that information I freely give, and all my real secrets in the vault of Bigfoot research, you know, you're not going to get for $5 a month, nor would you ever get for any amount of money, because to me, their stuff is priceless. And there's a lot of different, it's called integrity, there's a reason why I would never tell you certain things about research areas that I go to, no matter how much you pay me, because of the integrity of the species, of my own research, and the safety of people and other things. So, but when you know, and I will put a link. If you want to donate, you can donate on YouTube. I'll have a link for PayPal. There'll be a link to merchandise. Pretty soon I'll have a link for the conference and stuff. But, you know, personally for me, I try to, no matter all the money that comes through this channel has to be put towards actual research or getting real equipment that will be used for research. Not, you know, oh, I'm going to go buy a pizza because I just made some money off YouTube and gain an extra pound off that. No, I should, you know, for me and stuff, what is the point of having a Bigfoot research channel if you're going to get all the donations and go blow it on food or go blow it on something that's not about the research and finding and getting better equipment to get better evidence to present to the people for free on a public platform? I have a Patreon. I've set Patreon up for like 2 years ago and stuff, and I've never really promoted it and stuff because, again, what exclusive content would I really provide, and do I want to provide to people that I I want it to be public and stuff, making money and doing all that. I could give a shit less. I mean, half the time I haven't promoted getting donations for a whole year on this platform, actually. And very recently, last couple months, have I thrown links into chat for different stuff and done merchandise. Because I think that when you start getting a lot of money from YouTube off views and donations and stuff, it's a slippery slope of what you choose to do with it. And it's your money. You can do whatever the fuck you want with it, right? It's America. But if you're going to have someone who's going to be value in the community, who has integrity, who can lean upon and trust upon, it's just a slippery slope to get all that power and let it go to your head and get an ego and, get it, become, jump on that high horse. And then all of a sudden, you're the expert, you're the famous person, you're the gatekeeper of knowledge, and then all of a sudden, well, you're so used to making this much money off YouTube and then you customize your living based off that. And now you need that money because if you don't, you're going to have to go with all those nice things without it. Maybe you have to go without some of those bling rings like we see on some of those people, $300-$400 jewelry just for one ring, necklaces and stuff. Hey, if you're into that, you're a dude, you like to wear your bling and you want to spend thousands of dollars on jewelry that, just look nice. You could resell it. That's on you and stuff. And somehow, you still are able to procure stories out of your ass. But as researchers and people who actually actively want to and struggle to get money, to get real, and are struggling to go out there and are to be taken seriously, to be given the amount of money that some of these people are wiping their ass with and just stuffing their face with, wasting it, would actually push the ball down the field tremendously if we had access to those type of funding and equipment, and it'd make things a lot easier. I don't think there'd be any full-time researchers, but it definitely would make things so much easier to the point of some of these real researchers with more time out in the field is more opportunity to get real situations to happen, and real situations that are happening is an opportunity to get it on camera or audio or have witnesses around to experience it with you. But that's another thing that we can dive into later. So let's jump into the other videos. So the background in this is a video of a Bigfoot terrorizing a resort or something like that. Of course, this was a video that was given to the Squatch Watchers, and they, of course, what do you think they believe it is? Oh, I think's messing up on me.
Was this a Bigfoot trying to steal a picnic table at a camping resort in the mountains? Let us know what you think in the comments.
That's that content creation right there, baby. Hey, we've seen a Bigfoot struggling to drag the picnic table. It didn't pick it up. It didn't pick it over its head like it was going to body slam the Undertaker, which would be something that a normal person would not be able to do, right? You try to pick up a picnic table and go bench it over your head, press it over your head. We don't see that. We see the normal, common way that people would drag a picnic table out of an area, a Bigfoot, you know, hell, if one hand, flip it up across, do something amazing, smash it. Heck, anything like that would be amazing evidence. Not, you know, some random black shadow figure that you can barely see that just commonly grabs the picnic table and drags it across the resort. Let's get into more stuff. Let's get into more crazy cult like the ugly side of the community that we do not want to flourish, do not want to overrun us. But how do you deal with the cult members? I'm beginning to think that we can't. You unless they absolutely wake up. It's almost a waste of energy to actually convince those people who fall victim or just are not really smart enough to see reality, because they are in too deep with that type of mentality and stuff, that they're already geared towards that. They already want to lean towards that if you get them out of one cult member's cult, someone who's stronger influence and a better speaker and who's maybe looks a little bit more tougher and presents themselves better, they'll just jump to the next ship and stuff. And I really think that we should concentrate on the content creation people, the content creators, the entertainment people, people who, you know, are not on that crazy side of the cult mentality of like, there's 10 Bigfoot in the tree. And I just took a picture of it when I was 50 feet away. And I walked underneath the tree and they almost pissed on me. So I had to run away. We really need to be able to steer these content creation people, some of these younger people, like the channels I'm about to show you after this, towards the right way. Those are the people we can actually have a dialogue, a conversation, an intelligent debate with, and if we do convince them and stuff, that they are actually able to wipe away that crap, that muddy stagnant water out of their eyes and see a little bit more scientific or just common sense, or the way towards what we want to try to roll the ball towards, which is the truth and integrity side of the subject. No matter what the fuck Bigfoot is, but having the truth and the integrity of going about it. I think that's the only way to go. And we need to just, you know, cut our arms off to the woo side, not really the woo side, but the cult mentality. Not because there's a lot of cool and very smart, interesting people who believe in the woo paranormal side of Bigfoot, but the cult members who, you know, like Matthew Johnson, people who believe him and will go without their own medication because the Zanu is healing them. You know, that is the type of people that you can't really help. I mean, you can't, because how can a normal person fall for such fantasy, extraordinary bullshit from, you know, and it's just a fault of people. People are naturally drawn towards stories and leaders and false information and propaganda. And it's easier to tell a lie. It's easier to accept a lie than to face the real truth, because the truth hurts. It sucks. It's hard work. It's responsibility. It takes responsibility, you know, to be on the truth, to stand with the truth, to face the truth. It's a responsibility that people don't want to deal with. All right, let's take a look at some of this craziness, cult mentality evidence that we see.
Check out this video of a cloaking Bigfoot. I drew air and highlighted it. Tell me what y'all think that is. Do you see it? I can see it good. You can see an outline of something that's cloaking. What is that, Bigfoot or not? Check out this video of a cloaking Bigfoot. I drew air and highlighted it. Tell me what y'all think that is. Do you see it? I can see it good. You can see an outline of something that's cloaking. What is that, Bigfoot or not? Check out this video of a cloak.
Hey, man, it's that easy. Cloaking Bigfoot. You see it. It's clearly not the digital distortions of the pixels that is happening on a low resolution camera or the movement of the camera in the woods with everything else that it's trying to pick up. No. That's a cloaking Bigfoot clearly on video that you got outlined, and clearly that is the evidence that is accepted as proof, positive, clear proof that Bigfoot cloaks, because some random bimbo noticed that his digital distortion looked like a particular Bigfoot moving on the trail in front of him. I just noticed I don't have this other video loaded up, and oh man, that would suck. I think I actually one of the good videos I wanted to show of the kooks and craziness, I'm noticing is not up, so I have to do that real quick. And I'm noticing the Matthew Johnson one did not load up either, which is it happens, whatever. StreamYard doing StreamYard things. But it was really over the top, even worse than that. Even worse than that in terms of someone trying to pass evidence off. And this is just the ugly side, the low not in a derogatory way, but this low IQ thinking and acceptance of everything is Bigfoot. This is the most low tier quality evidence imaginable is accepted as the best evidence imaginable by them. And they outnumber us a lot. 10-1. They probably outnumber us in the total amount of mass people that will flood to the community and where they will actually lean towards and go to. It's probably 10-1 that most of them will lean towards the cult side, the fantasy side, there's red circle side, red circles and bushes side, and then the entertainment and the content creation side. Probably 10-1 at least. All right, let's try to upload this video again. I might have to back out of the studio and then come back. Oh wait, I believe I'm gonna do a special trick, so I make sure I don't end the stream when I leave. But I'm pretty sure I can leave the studio and come back in without ending the stream. All right, let's see if this works. And then we'll play this clip. Is that the guy that claims to have opened the portal to import an entire population of Bigfoots from their home world or dimension world or whatever? Yeah, that would be Matthew Johnson. Matthew Johnson. That video that I just shown is not from Matthew Johnson, but I'm trying to download a video of some posts recently that Matthew Johnson has made, showing that he's clearly still running his game, and the future is Zanu. The future of the Bigfoot community is Zanu. If you guys didn't know that, and what I mean by that, it is the fantasy side. The future is the fantasy side, the Kool-Aid drinking culty side. It seems like a cult. It's cult-like behaviors. It's the cult-like trust of your fellow friends who are researchers who, Bigfoot's raping him out in the woods. And I'm sorry I'm being that graphic, but it is something that is just totally it's not happening. It is totally just out there that is impossibly happening, and after it's done, he's coming over for dinner and he's not going to the hospital and there's no evidence collection and blah, blah, common sense, it makes no sense. But you believe him because he's your friend. He's nice. He gives you money. He goes out in the woods with you. He's a really, really nice guy. Everyone says he's a nice guy. I mean, he's a nice guy. I have to, they believe it or they accept it or they turn their cheek towards it. And that's not helping anyone. It's making the community worse. It's growing the cult, the ugly side. All right, so let's play this from Mr. Johnson. And this is on my way to attend the Georgia Camp Zanu weekend event. Of course, there in Georgia. I'm looking forward to presenting to the group. Of course, I didn't read that fast enough. Let me do that again. It's only 10 seconds for each slide. Lots of peripherent information to share with everyone. Of course, Camp Zanu, Georgia. And I think there might be some evidence there. We're in the trees, and the trees are everywhere. Zorth. Clearly, Zorth is right there behind the person. Clear as day. Clear as day. Look who was squatching down while watching us discover his branch gift on the trail. His branch gift. Of course, there's a Zanu right there. It's clear as day. It's popping out of the fucking tree. No, it's not the sunlight in the trees diffusing through the leaves. No. I know that it's not just a clump of debris, that the shadow is making it look like something's there, that they're only, 25 feet away from, taking the picture of, thinking, oh, there's a Zanu there, right? But they won't go up to the bush, or this is after the fact, or whatever, knowingly, kooky, who knows? The dude had traumatic brain trauma, right? But he's functional enough to live every day and wipe his own ass, so obviously, that's not a real excuse of what's really going on out there. Or maybe it is, and he's just totally in the fantasy side. And at some point, you have to knowingly acknowledge that you're peddling bullshit, or you are so severely mentally ill that you think that those are real signs, and you have schizophrenia, whatever, you're a schizo, and you have some major issues, and you're gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna get other people hurt. And actually, Matthew Johnson has done that, because I'm pretty sure they believe, and other people could point this out, that there was a dude who stopped taking his medication and supposedly, I believe, died. Right? Died early. Obviously, died earlier. If you're not taking your proper medications prescribed by the doctors. If Zanu says, hey, I have this rattlesnake that I just befriended you. Get bit by it, you'll live forever. And the Zanu says, so Matthew Johnson gets some Kool-Aid drinking cult member to do it, or he'll do it, because Zanu said, and you're gonna have something happen. Something's gonna happen. The only good thing about these people is these people really don't do much. When they go in the woods, they go to a camp out. They're going to a camp out. They're sitting around that fire. They're really not going much where. They're not doing much. So, they don't need to, because things happen all around them. So let's take a look at some of this evidence that Mr. Johnson presents, while I try to find this other video that was really important. And I guess I messed up. Yeah. Oh, no, right here. Sweet. So right here, especially when it shows the right there shows the sunlight diffusing through trees and bushes, and it looks like a face of Bigfoot. And well, it must be. And there's no scientific, there's nothing, because all this is post-production. This is something that happens after the fact of, oh my gosh, pareidolia see the pattern of a Bigfoot face in the sunlight diffusion of leaves coming through the freaking treetops. And, this is the type of stuff that we should be ripping our hairs off and laughing and just be like, this it's nuts. Okay. But there's a reason why it's popular. There's a reason why it's like dozens of people compared to one of us. There's a reason for that, and it's the human reason, is because humans, unfortunately, are programmed to fall for snake oil salesmen. We kind of are, most people are kind of dispositioned to just, basically bend over and listen and go with the flow, and as we see many times through history. Instead of one person standing up and say, this fucking Xanu shit is bullshit, walk over to that bush and bust up that bush. There's nothing in the bush. Go walk up through that tree. Go put your hand on the tree. Go piss on the tree. Go piss on the face of Xanu. Do something. Come on. It's not real. You need one strong person to stand up and slap in the face, and hopefully some common sense clicks in. Otherwise, those people are just basically just brainwashed to the point of no return. And I'm beginning to believe that more people are not that so far gone, but they just ignorantly believe everything. Because my buddy, he's a nice dude. Well, my buddy says he's a nice guy, so I have to think and trust him. And there's a lot of people who are faking, telling stories, or when they're telling a crazy story of when it happened when they're a kid, and they encounter a Bigfoot, and they don't show any emotion, and they're laughing and smirking, and telling a good story, and it doesn't seem real. Like if you're a traumatic event as a kid, retelling it should put your body into a heightened state. You should release your body should do stuff that you just can't control, like release hormones and stuff, and elevated heart rate, and start sweating or doing certain things that you just can't do consciously or can't control. All right, let's move on to this next one. I wanted to show this particular next one, but I don't have them ready, so we'll just jump on to another segment. We're going to get into some real researchers, people in the community who are considered real researchers. I don't know. I'm going to be doing some diving though into these particular ones, because I've already seen some things that seem to be red flags to me, and maybe you guys have a different opinion. Me and Pat talked about one of these particular groups last time on the show, but this particular one, maybe you guys haven't heard Squatch and Holler. He was one of these guys at the LBL, and he's going to actually tell us of a particular thing that he encountered. And I want you just to listen to his words. This is just a small little segment of the video. But just listen to his words and listen to what he says, and just think with common sense of why, just common sense stuff. And, I've seen some interviews with this guy, and I'm getting some red flags. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Or maybe I'm not and stuff. I think other people have had some red flag issues, I believe. Maybe it was just Pat. I'm not sure. But when you're running and gunning with the Beast Crew and Mr. Bama over there at the LBL, everything and anything is possible.
We're about to leave the LBL, but I'm gonna check out a spot here. We saw something with red eye shine the other night. It was canine, big, like wolf size, and it was definitely canine. But when we come around this curve up here, the lights hit it, and when it ran behind that tree, and it ran off this way. I don't know which way it went. Here, I thought maybe it was going to cross this road, so I whipped in, and I didn't see it, and Heather saw She said what she described as a vapor crossed the road, like a wavy vapor about the size of a dog, crossed from here to here. I didn't see it. I was looking, for what I saw. But the way it moved, I'm not going to get into it right now. But I've talked to Barton Nunley and some other people that research up here all the time. And I told them that I would come. I didn't tell anybody the exact spot. I told them the area. So I'm going to look for, I don't think the ground is going to be good for tracks.
I don't know if you guys caught some of that, but there's some things that he said that to me just are raising some red flags. And hey, he sounds like a nice guy. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe he's one of these honest, good researchers with full of integrity. I don't know, because I really have not. I've heard about him for a while, or being mentioned, or being seeing interviews, showcasing his channel and stuff. But the thing a couple things he says right there is, says, I didn't see it. I wasn't looking over there. I wasn't looking at it. I was seeing, we'll replay it again. And then he says, I was looking what I was looking at over here. And then he says, I'm not going to go into detail and talk about it, even though he's at the place where he had the encounter to talk about it. He can't talk about the details in the situation at the moment. He didn't tell anywhere else where it was to go and investigate after the fact or as soon as it happened. Let's play that one more time, because I'm trying to download this last little video and I need a little bit more time. So again, listen to what he says. And this is a minute long segment out of, I think it was like a 9-minute long video. Just listen to what he says. And
we're about to leave the LBL, but I'm gonna check out a spot here. We saw something with red eye shine the other night. It was canine, big, like wolf size, and it was definitely canine. But when we come around this curve up here, the lights hit it, and when it ran behind that tree, and it ran off this way. I don't know which way it went. Here, I thought maybe it was going to cross this road, so I whipped in, and I didn't see it, and Heather saw. She said what she described as a vapor crossed the road, like a wavy vapor about the size of a dog, crossed from here to here. I didn't see it. I was looking, for what I saw. But the way it moved, I'm not going to get into it right now. But I've talked to Barton Nunley and some other people that research up here all the time. And I told them that I would come. I didn't tell anybody the exact spot. I told them the area. So I'm going to look for, I don't think the ground is going to be good for tracks.
doesn't really sound like he really knows what he saw, because he didn't see it. His wife's seen it, I guess, or his partner's seen it. So I think, to me, I think he kind of fumbles up a bit and starts telling a story that he is navigating through until he hits a point to where, like, oh shit, I can't tell anymore because I'm already claiming things that, like, I didn't see it, but I did see it, to turn over, to cut it off, but I didn't see where it was going, but I didn't see it. I was looking at what I was looking at over here, which I didn't see it. And I don't want to talk about it. And as soon as it happened, I went back to camp, because Brent, hey, or anyone else watching, as soon as I experience something like that, I'm going to go back to camp and tell you all about it. But I'm not going to tell you where it happened at, because, well, we shouldn't go right over there and go investigate it right now with everyone, right? Because no, that's not how it works. And I'm not going to tell you about it so we can't go over there and then morning all together as a group to go look at it. Or because, I just don't want you to know where it's at because, why not? In fact, that LBL get together, there was 120 something people there. For that LBL get together. So you plenty of people on hand to go and look for tracks, go look for hair, extra pair of eyes for this, extra pair of hands for that. I mean, why not? Why not tell people? Isn't that what you're there for? To me, that raises some red flags, and it's why I'm going to go and look a little harder at some of the things because and it's not because of that clip that actually got me interested in this dude. It was him telling his own encounters and stuff, and just the way, it's just the way people talk about it and stuff. A certain way. To me, it seems like there's a little fishy stuff going on. Like it's just not real. It's not happening and stuff. And that particular, and I respect your opinion, Barry. I know we disagree on this because of. You have a lot of good friends over there. You've been to those places. You've hung out with those people. I 100% respect your opinion. I have my own opinion based on myself and no one else. Honestly, man. And you've known about this for a long time and stuff, and I appreciate that. And so Barry says that you're wrong about that group of people, Blake. He claims what his wife saw, he saw what he claimed was a big white dog. Yeah. And, I would love to go down there and, even if I disagree with those people and think some of those people are full out fake ass hoaxers, I would love to still be just witnessing all that happens and what happens, it goes down, and maybe that could change my mind and stuff. But, to me, there's some red flags of, if you're going back to that place of where it happened, how come you're not talking about the details? And you're making a video at the place and you're not doing it, right? Some of the other issues I have is, I think you guys, that group or some of the group, Beast TV guys or whatever, Bama and all them, you guys are getting coyote calls. And you guys are thinking that there's a Bigfoot call in the middle of it, but you're definitely hearing coyote calls. You guys will admit that. I'm not sure what all you guys got on this expedition. I know on some of the other ones that the Beast crew themselves actually hosted, seems to be more coyote calls than anything else. And also for the fact that Mark himself couldn't remember something that happened until 6 weeks after the fact. That he randomly remembered, oh yeah, you remember when I took a piss by the tree? Well, there was this crashing sound. Yeah, did you guys hear that? Yeah, we did, Larry says. And Deb says, yeah, we thought that was you. Oh no, it wasn't me. It was something else. Could be Sasquatch. It's stuff like that makes me think, it's just fishy, man. And just because they're nice old guys and have a lot of experience in life and good, wholesome guys, Christian too, there's some issues and red flags and stuff that I think is nefarious. I'm going to put it out there. I think that some of those guys are just not being honest, man. Maybe it's not nefarious. Maybe they're not trying to, do anything like that. But I think just some of the stuff, maybe it's just, when Mark Newbell says in his years of experience doing audio, that the audio clip that Patrick Vaughn, the known hoaxer, proven hoaxer, admitted hoaxer, and he dropped out. He's finally back in the community doing his thing now, but hoaxer, well-known, recognized hoaxer, and made up bullshit. When he gives a clip to Mark, and Mark says, my experience, my opinion, this is from an unknown animal, and it's a fucking coyote, I have to question what the fuck that experience really entails. And it makes me question everything. And I'm finding that it is either on purpose fantasy made up bullshit LARPing, or frankly, there's too much Bigfoot on the brain going on, and that years of experience isn't shit because it's years of fantasy. And that's my opinion. I know we disagree, and I would love to go to the LBL and experience stuff. I don't have to be with everyone else, but for me, seeing is believing. And if I was there and all of a sudden we had fucking Bigfoot's mind speaking to us, I would come out of there, Barry, saying, hey, I was at the LBL with Barry and all these other hooligans who I said were bullshit, and I got mind spoken to them, and we all got told the same thing. I would be on the front lines preaching that this all happened to us. Yeah, I respect you for that, Barry. I 100% disagree with you on Debbie. I think she hoaxed some of the audio. I think her gibberish is hoaxed because, as I've pointed out several times, she had several different clips, and there's only like 2 out of 5 that, well, are not mistakes, are not someone else's, are not caught. She didn't get caught. Those 2 that remain are the only ones that can't be figured out as where they come from or whose audio those are. But I've shown that 3 out of the 5 audios from that special night that she had with Henry or Carrie sleeping, whoever was sleeping in the tent with her, I have shown that 3 out of 5 of those audio clips were other people's, and where she was knowingly claiming it was hers and says, that's me talking. And that's Kayla Ott talking with her dog, because there's a dog that is making dog noises. And Deb is not in her fucking tent with her buddy sleeping with a fucking dog in the tent. And yet she's claims that it's hers. And I've proven. Go watch that video. It was around Christmas time and it was around New Year's. I blasted the crap out of Larry and Deb because I think I proved it pretty clearly that there was some shenanigans and hoaxery going on, and I think that the Beast TV covered it up because they were getting exposed, and they were the ones who were putting the audio out and claiming it was real before they sending it over to other people, who makes me question their experience, because if they're getting audio from Debbie and 3 out of the 5 clips are hoaxes, and well, the 2 of them, they're real because some other dude whose experience supposedly says they're real. It makes me think that the experience that we have in the subject is bullshit. What people think is experience, what they claim, it's really just armchair research. It's not really actual physical experience of hands-on real stuff. And that's my opinion because Debbie got caught playing Kayla Ott's hoax audio, and at the foot. And I've shown it at the conference. She was playing Ron Moorhead's audio and got called out for it. And her excuse was, well, I sent that audio to Ron Moorhead and he said it was okay. We didn't have no problem with it and swept it underneath the rug. So it's fine. I appreciate that and stuff, Barry, and getting in this little back and forth. It's good and stuff. Maybe that could be an issue. Maybe there is more to the story with Deb and her audio and ex-members and, and the Ron Moorhead thing and the Kayla Ott thing. And, but I've gone through that with the computer thing. And I've gone through the whole defense of the old computer, Henry's computer, Deb's old computer, the new computer, I've gone through it all. And it's simply this. She claims that all the recordings, the mix got mixed up together off of the one member's computer, got mixed together and presented at the conference somehow. And then she got all the original audio, not stuff that was mixed in. She got it off her original recorder onto her computer that was dying. So she only saved a few clips. The mixed audio from Kayla Ott was supposedly on her original audio recorder that she saved onto the new computer. That wasn't the old computer and stuff. So no, and she was presenting for years after that these other audios were not hers. Kayla Ott's audio and Ron Moorhead's audio. Or either she was doing it on purpose or she was too stupid to know that that wasn't her fucking audio and she's too stupid to understand. I experienced this fantastical thing at Bigfoot at night, but I don't remember what the audio has, because when she claims I'm the one saying that and it's Kayla and she doesn't remember if that's reality or not, it makes me question everything. Either, you know, and I've gone through that, so you can watch it. It was it was a hoaxer resolution, and I think we did the Christmas episode. I think I did 2 full episodes on Debbie herself explaining this hoax, and I think I did a third one touching a little bit on Larry and Mark. On some of the things that they say, it just doesn't make sense to me as a researcher, and that's my opinion. People who go and experience stuff with them have different opinions, and I'm okay with that. But I think we ripped apart Deb's whole defense that she has made public, of course, because if there's stuff that's not made public and she's not telling us for whatever reasons, well, then that's the missing piece of the puzzle. All right, so let's jump on to this didn't download again. I'm not sure what's going on. Let's jump on to some other people that might get some other people to disagree with me, which is nothing wrong with stuff, as long as, you know, you can be respectful and stuff, like Barry and me, you know. And Barry's a good guy. Barry was at the 168 in Florida. A great guy, really nice guy, common sense guy. And someone who says, you know, I think he experienced the orbs in Florida in the 168, who I believe, you know, he's one of the people who says, hey, you know, I experienced this down in LBL. I'm a little bit more inclined to believe Barry, not necessarily other people that might experience the same thing, but I believe Barry. I got a cough. So there's always, you know, there's always room to debate and disagree and have mutual respect and stuff. It doesn't have to blow up into bullshit, but you know, it's a different situation for everyone. I can't say I'm not as tolerant with dumb, stupid comments or just people come at me a certain way. You know, I'm not so tolerant of that stupidity or stupid comments or stupid answers coming from certain people who are not that stupid. All right, let's play this. Next clip is from Hellbent Hollers. Hellbent Hollowers. So let's take a look at some stuff that they presented I found interesting, and we're gonna probably take a deeper dive into these guys, as Pat has suggested last episode, and other people on the fences with this. I know some people love Hellbent Holler and think they're doing amazing, great work. Pat and some other people disagree with that completely, 100% opposite end, and think it's at minimum entertainment purposes only, or half-ass entertainment with half-ass research, and more sensationalized stuff. Able to do, that's weird.
What is that?
Oh my God.
Stay behind me.
What is it? What? What is?
It's children's size clothing.
Whoa!
All right, so as you guys can see, there's some interesting things, interesting things on both sides of the spectrum. I think some interesting stuff, some like finding the abandoned tent and all that, and making oh no, it's another killing at the LBL, or just steering the narrative and doing the YouTube formula to fit that narrative because you just came across an abandoned tent or supplies and stuff like that, and not really going about it the right way. I mean, I believe I've heard him talk about this before, but I really, again, I'm going to go deep dive and watch these videos in full detail and figure out, hey, did they call the cops? Did they get the whole of Rangers? Did they do an investigation? Did they report people missing? Did they actually find any actual evidence that would suggest that people actually are missing from the abandoned camp? Or it's just simply, like a lot of people do, is just leave their fucking trash in the woods because it's a lot easier than picking up after themselves because people are lazy. There was a particular interesting thermal clip right at the very end, right? But they were saying some flaming portal, and then all of a sudden they show some thermal clip, which was interesting, right? But then they have the jumper, and to me, the jumper is well, let's take a look. Let's take a look at it closer. Oh, I don't have it. I guess I don't. Okay. All right. I guess I don't have that. I will get it up in a minute. Let's take a look at another clip of something that they got.
What is that?
Oh my god.
Stay behind me.
What is it? Was that a wolf? Was that a wolf?
That looked like a wolf.
I'm going headlamp on.
Wolves in this.
Oh, I know. I know there's not supposed to be wolves out here, but obviously there's something out here.
The third time we've seen
Big ass gray wolves, yeah. What is it? Was that a wolf? What is it? Was that a wolf?
I definitely give them credit. They walked right towards it, right? They didn't check in and scare away. They walk towards whatever they are seeing. Now they're claiming it's a wolf. I'm not doubting that it's not some type of canine, but what I am 100% doubting and going to call out on is them claiming that it is a gray wolf. Now it could be the color gray, but a gray wolf, like the actual species, is nowhere fucking near where they're at. Definitely nowhere near that far south, because recently there was a gray wolf killed in Lower Michigan, and it made the news because it's not supposed to be here. And so it's definitely not that far south. If any type of wolf would be there, it would be an endangered red wolf. And red wolves can be a smoky gray or reddish kind of color. And they are a rare and endangered animal. And it could be just simply a coyote. Why isn't it as simply coyote? Is it just because of the size that they presumed it to be? It's a massive gray wolf. A gray wolf. I'm going to go on a limb and say if they actually see a real gray wolf, a 220-pound gray wolf, it's going to be a big difference between what they've seen in a real gray wolf that is nowhere found in that state that they're in, that far south. So I'm calling them out on calling it a gray wolf, an actual species of gray wolf. That's not true. I think that they just experienced a coyote. Maybe it was a wolf. Could have got a red wolf. That would be amazing and worth some scientific value. But the video quality, of course, is shit because of, it's just far away. It's in the dark, bunch of factors. But I give them props that they actually got, they stuck at it and didn't run away and stuff. So, I kind of feel like there's a mixture going on with these guys. All right, so we have this video ready to go. Let's take a look at the so some of their stuff, it seems like they're going the right way, but some of the other stuff, the over sensationalized stuff, like their thumbnails, the build up of a nothing burger in their shows, content creation and stuff. I don't think they're, hoaxing and stuff, but at the same time, I don't think that when you're focused as content creation that you really care about the integrity of what you're really finding and showing. Because let's take a look at the tree jumper, right? The tree jumper video clip that they showed as one of the top things that happened in 2023. So let's take a closer look. All right, so as you guys can clearly see, the tree jumper. I put the link in the chat. I know it's a little late, but if someone wants to come on, we got come on and chat for a little bit before I shut it down. As you can see, the tree jumper. Come on, man. Now this, they actually think this is a fucking Bigfoot jumping through trees above their heads. This is a Bigfoot or whatever kind of cryptid. It don't fucking matter if it's Bigfoot or whatever cryptid. They think it's a real entity that just, is like, I don't know, 25, 50 feet away and it's jumped through pine trees. Jumping through pine trees or little branch trees over above their heads, and they're not hearing it. They didn't notice it. Why isn't this a leaf? The most simplest explanation is that it is a leaf or artifacts of branches, crisscross applesauce. And as you're moving and moving the camera, possibly in two different directions at the same time, you're going to get angles of movement, especially at different perceptions of depth of sticks and leaves, that it's going to seem like fucking things jumping through the trees. Let's take a look again, because this is what they're claiming, right? And if I put something out like this, a fucking Bigfoot jumped between the two trees, you're putting your fucking reputation on the line, right? That's a bold claim, right? If I put something out like that, I better be seeing the bare ass naked behind of a Bigfoot jumping between two trees that you can clearly tell, well, that ain't a raccoon. That ain't some leaves, something that you're going to know. Oh my God. Okay. If you're going to make extraordinary claims, you better have the proof or some type of breadcrumbs to show something extraordinary to try to back those claims up. Because if you say something and you give us junk, come on, man. It just makes everyone look dumb. It makes everyone look stupid. All right. So as you can see, it's jumping through the trees right there. I mean, it's at the very top. It's well, my personal opinion is, look how small those trees are. Okay, Um, you know, I'm gonna look. Yeah, see, see those are small pine trees. Even if they were medium sized pine trees, they're definitely not big white pines, right? They're definitely not some big ass pine trees. Those are like maybe 12-inch diameter pine trees, right? 12-inch at the biggest and stuff. There's no branches to be jumping and swinging off, people. Um, you know, I work in the tree industry. There's certain types of on certain types of trees, like those pine trees, there's no branches. And physically, let's look at it physically. I had to add my music because I don't know if they're going to come after me. Hellbent Holler might come after me a little bit harder than other people, and they had some music overlaid on that. So all of this is copyright protected, or not copyright. All of this is free, open, free speech engagement. My commentary. I'm also presenting this as a news information to the community. I'm giving my own opinions on this and asking for your opinions as a First Amendment protected news gathering thing that should bypass all this bullshit copyright. But you know how YouTube can be. Because if you can put it on the news and the news can talk about it without getting copyrighted, we can also do that too. Just some people get all butthurt, and YouTube says, well, they actually, it's private because it's, it's our rules. And so, okay, well, do we are allowed to sue and strike and get backlash towards the news and every other wannabe people who take stuff off the internet, off of private companies or private platforms or whatever? No. That's why you have some people thinking, some of these videos that I've shown, would be slander and stuff like that. It's just my own opinion and commentary on that. I think I made that pretty clear and all that. Especially when Mr. Big Old Wolf J comes rocking and rolling, wearing his bling. He gets all cranky and he doesn't like people doing videos on him. All right, so links in chat. Someone else can come in. I'm gonna show this other clip real quick. Awesome clip. This is amazing. Kool-Aid drinking clip right here. All right. It says friend took picture near Palmer, Alaska an hour ago. What do you think? Oh man, this is golden. What do you guys think? What do you guys see clearly? Right outside your window, it's a Bigfoot. I mean, clear as day. They even added a second photo where he shaded it, darker, edited it. That's an edit. He made it darker. Oh man, what can you guys see? Oh, don't look at the lines. Don't look at underneath the lines. Don't look at what's between the lines. Don't look at the lines. Don't look at what's above the lines. Each line doesn't mean anything. Disregard that. You don't see anything. You see a Bigfoot. You all see a Bigfoot right there. You don't see boots. No, you don't see black pants. No, you don't see blonde hair and white skin at the top. No. You see a Bigfoot. You see a Bigfoot. Clearly it's a Bigfoot, right? Let's take a look at it again. And this is the Kool-Aid that we get, right? So I can just take a picture of the woods right next to me and a Bigfoot's magically there. And people will believe it. And people do believe it. This has got a couple comments and they see it, they believe it, a couple likes. And what is it? Well, what is it? Well, we can't see, it's hard to see. It's indescribable. Well, underneath the red line, you see the rubber boots. In between the red and blue lines, you see black pants. In between the blue line and the yellow line looks like hunter camo jacket. And I would say that it's a female blonde who is white by the looks of what's above the yellow line. A blonde female who's out there with a hunting jacket and rubber boots, right? That's what I assumed it was. And then I got a comment of what it was. Mr. Allen. What does Mr. Allen say? What does the comment say? Yes, it's hard to tell. And the sky was completely overcast in late evening. She went out there to get her 3 dogs that were barking. Who went out there? A female went out there. Oh, Mr. Allen posted about his neighbor or friend. Yes, it's hard to tell. She happened to see this. I doubt she casually stayed out there. I should have made it a little bit longer, but basically, he's made the story of this person. The female was out there and dogs were barking, and but that's not that same chick who's out there with rubber boots on and blonde hair. No, it's a Bigfoot, guys. This is the Kool-Aid that people are drinking. They're accepting. My friend took a picture. My friend took this picture. What do you guys think? Well, Mr. Allen, I think you're full of shit, and you took the picture of the woman that you knew was out there getting her dogs, and you just happened to think with your low IQ brain that this was going to be a good idea to post and say, what do you guys think? And present it as Bigfoot. Look at the rubber boots underneath the red line. Rubber boots, clear as day. Looks like she's wearing some black pants. Looks like that's a camo jacket. And looks like above the yellow line, she's a blonde white woman. Right? Maybe she's brunette. I don't know. To me, it looks like she has the curves of a woman. And then later, the comment is there was a woman out there getting her dogs. So we're supposed to accept this, right? We're supposed to tolerate this because, well, they're in their bubble doing their own thing. They're not hurting anyone. They're just getting dozens of people to drink the same fucking Kool-Aid and turn off their brain, because you have to turn off your brain. Anyone who's actual into this, does real research, has a brain, has eyes, uses their brain, can recognize patterns, can look at that, look hard at that, see the things that I pointed out, and make the determination it's a fucking woman, not a Bigfoot. But we see the opposite. We see a lot of people, oh yeah, I see it. Heck, there's more. There's plenty of more in there. So what's the future going to be like? What's the good? What's the bad? And what's the ugly? Where are we heading towards? I personally think that we are going towards the bad and the ugly because of friendships. Because, my friendship with this person, this group of people, because I've been out there, overshadows the shenanigans and red flags and bullshit that comes out their mouth, because he's my friend. He would never lie, and I don't think he's lying. And, I think we have to look past that and have unbiased opinion about what comes out people's mouths of when they're presenting evidence and stories of actual encounters that they claim to have, right? I disagree with Barry when it comes to Squatching Holler and this, and and his childhood encounter. I think it's fake based on the fact that he doesn't show hardly any emotion other than a smirking, arrogant laugh as he's telling the story. Not the same, not a typical response of a childhood trauma or childhood life experience that is, Bigfoot. There are some certain things that you would commonly see. Now, everyone's different. Every person is different. Every situation is. But with him going out to the sighting and seeing the white dog, and then, making the same comment, well, going into it, but then, backing off and saying, well, I'm not going to talk about the details now. I just had a Bigfoot encounter, guys. I'm here on location. I don't want to talk about it. Let's look for tracks. I'm sure he's going to make other videos, and maybe he wanted to say it on the interview and say it on a podcast live and say it in a different way and say it on someone else's interview. I don't know. This is all my opinions. This is what I see. This is how my brain is thinking, because unfortunately, as much as we want to, the Bigfoot community is not full of honest, reputable, integrity, truth-seeking people. We are the minority. The majority are the Kool-Aid drinking. There's Bigfoot everywhere. This is a Bigfoot. I can take a picture of a tree stump 10 different times and it claims it's Bigfoot and people believe it. They are the majority. The people who want to become popular again, who want to have friends again, who feel lonely, they tell a good Bigfoot story. Oh, now they have a bunch of group of friends. Now they can go out together. They don't even need to leave camp, right? I mean, I would ask Barry, how many times did you guys leave camp? The majority of times, I'm sure at nighttime, there was a big group of people at camp that never fucking left. There's certain individuals who probably I would assume, talked a big ass game of, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then when it came time to go fucking do something, excuses were made. I hope they went out, because when you go out, you have a greater chance of getting stuff. But with Bigfoot on the brain, and you have 120 something people at the LBL for that group camp out, and well, of course you guys got, you had Ron Moorhead there, you had the other people there, other respectable people and stuff, but you have other people who I feel are not as respectable, or who need a little bit more watchfulness, playing their shenanigans or influencing people, Bigfoot on the brain. Oh, you hear Kyle. It's, no, that one in the middle, it sounded more beefier. That one in the middle, no, that was a Sasquatch. My years and years of experience tells me that right there was a Sasquatch, undeniable, or at least it was from an unknown animal species, like what Patrick Vaughn got. Patrick Vaughn, the known hoaxer, mix up stories about seeing the little female Bigfoot running around him and doing this and doing that and adding things here and adding things here and adding things there. Third generation tracker who can't tell you he can't teach you how to track. He can't teach to track, but he's a third generation tracker, kind of like Mark. Mark's a tracker. He can tell you the philosophical way of tracking, but really never gets into solid actual fucking tracking or explanations. More or less, this philosophy of, if I were to go do something and get off my ass, this is what I would try to do, but I'm not actually going to do that, because like Larry's famous quote is, I like to go research when everyone else is asleep. Everyone else is asleep. I wait till everyone else is asleep, and then I go off and do my own thing and experience it, like some smug jackass who's wasting everyone else's fucking time and money. But that's my opinion. We're gonna shut this down because I gotta get up at 5:30 in the morning. So I guess I better shut it down if I'm gonna get any kind of a sleep, which I'm not gonna get sleep right away. It's gonna take me probably a half hour to go to sleep. But I love the job that I do. Love the work I do. It's not hard. It's not crazy anything that makes me fucking not want to be there. In fact, I love it. Make good money. Enjoy the work. Feel good. And yeah. Texas Jack. Maybe the real detriment to this citizen science was the friends we
made along the way. It could be because, you could become biased. You have to turn the cheek, some of these people are friends with some, when you make extraordinary claims, it takes extraordinary evidence to back it up. And there are dozens of people who make extraordinary claims and the evidence is not backing it up, and there is no evidence for most of them, but the evidence is a misrepresentation of normal animals. Because coyotes make dozens and hundreds of calls, and scientists will tell you that there are dozens of calls that they are officially not recognized and officially not researched. And so for when we're claiming, oh, there's something in the middle, or there's there was that one coyote in the middle that didn't sound like the rest. I mean, extraordinary claims take extraordinary evidence, and you might just have a rare coyote call that is not registered yet, which is still worth its weight as evidence and a scientific find, and it is great. But Sasquatch on the brain, everything's Bigfoot. I will mention, I was watching Pat suggested the Ohio call in Indiana on Sawdust Beast. I watched that, and that's with a group or a kid and his dad, or I'm not sure the relationship, but Squatch Hauler is what they're called. Not Squatching Hauler, like this other dude who I think is kind of fishy, but Squatch Hauler, which is a young kid and his dad, I think, or a family member, who is hanging out with the wrong kind of crowds who will influence them on Bigfoot of the brain. But they actually got some interesting audio and actually will say, hey, most of these we figure out were coyote. In fact, all of them on this particular clip we think is coyote, but there's these other clips and stuff that we think is different. And right there and stuff, I seen with Squatch Holler. I should have had this clip ready to go and showing you guys having that, oh yeah, we thought this was possibly Bigfoot, but then we just discovered it was most likely a coyote, and going with the integrity and not everything's a fucking Bigfoot. When you're at the LBL and hanging out with all the big groups that claim Bigfoot's there every single time that they're at the LBL or Dogman, as a young kid, young person, young researcher who's going to have a lot of years to go, it is a good sign. That is what we need. That is exactly what the future is bright with some of those individuals, even though they're all buddies and right in the middle of a group of people and people who I would say is hoaxing and content creation and storytelling, fantasy, and Bigfoot on the brain and influencing you to make something real that's not. There's some light at the end of that tunnel with that particular group, I think, or that individual, and and I haven't deep dive or anything like that, but from what I've seen, if anything, they're honestly trying to go about it with integrity, but they just might have might not be experienced enough to know exactly every single thing that they're getting, and might assume that's Bigfoot when it's not. But looks like as soon as you discover it's something that's normal, when you come out and say, hey, we thought it was Bigfoot, but now we think it's this, that's a good thing. That shows integrity. That shows a person who wants the truth, who wants real research, and someone who the content creation side. No, you got to write books, bro. You got to write books. You need to put out this. You need to have merchandise. You need to get donations. You got to have members. You got to get that money flowing, bro. No. You can't. No. And I think that being influenced like that is going to take away from real research and putting it out as honest integrity, because you're about the content, you're about the money, you're about anything other than the research. All right. We're going to call it right here. I appreciate everyone who's been watching, stayed here, and will watch after the fact. Want everyone to give a shout out and prayer to Miss Sandra P. She has been in the hospital. I don't know if she's still in the hospital and stuff. I have not seen her. She wasn't in the chat here and stuff. So I know Nikki made mention of that last weekend. So everyone give prayers to her. Reach out to her if you can. I'm sure she would love it. I'm not really sure how else to. Maybe on Facebook, obviously. And, on her channel or make comments and stuff under her comments and different people's videos and stuff to let her know that she's awesome and you guys miss her and all that, because we do. If you find her ever in a chat or ever made a comment in a channel and stuff, I would say that's a pretty good channel to watch. That's what I like to say. I'll be going out and doing some stuff. I actually been out for I've been going out and stuff. I've been getting fucking ticks and yeah. No, it's tick heaven in Michigan right now. It is tick heaven right now. It is insane the amount of levels of ticks that I've been experiencing and stuff. It's it's crazy because we didn't have that much of winter. So I'm going to different spots and doing some. I'm actually probably going to go to some a new spot with about 4 or 5 encounters actually around there. So it's actually pretty sweet. I'm gonna go drive out there and go take a walk around and scout around, see what I can find, and then run an audio and probably video and stuff. But mainly potential spot for future stuff. It's really so. All right. We're gonna be landing the plane, as Jeff likes to say. Check out Pine Island Research. Check out Nikki's show, Sasquatch Secrets, tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern. As she, of course, is going to have another good show ready to go. You check out Steve Cole's afterwards. I know Randy Harrington is doing a live show at the same time tomorrow about the thermal Sasquatch, possibly filmed over there with the crew and all that. Check out the Beast System on Thursdays on Rumble and X. Check out Ghostly Archives with Melissa on X. I think she does a couple of different shows a week. You can find her on Ghostly Archives on X, or look at the Beast System. It's a Facebook group also, and you can find the links and all that. As my co-host, do some crazy cool stuff and a lot more different stuff than we get into. They get into a lot more shenanigans with conspiracies and ghosts and UFOs and all sorts of topics, political topics. Emily had she did a show with Adam Walsh's daughter, and talking about how Adam Walsh from America's Most Wanted was not the person who you think he is. And his daughter comes on the show and explains why. And so awesome, different shows, different crazy guests and stuff she does for a long time. And glad to be part of the of that. So, all right. God bless everyone. Hopefully you guys get a good night's sleep. Have fun tomorrow and a nice Sunday. Good rest of the week. We should have some big announcements coming in another maybe a week or two or month at the very most. Appreciate everyone who is taking time to watch this. And if you guys have any question, comments, evidence, emails, concerns, whatever, email me, Facebook me. I have a Facebook group, the Lost Cryptids Conservatory. You can find me on there, find me floating around doing things. All righty. We'll see you guys next time.